Everything can look perfectly fine on your side. Campaigns running, systems active, emails going out, and still, you start seeing messages getting rejected for a reason that feels almost trivial. But why? Hello everyone, my name is Lucas and welcome to Warmy.io's YouTube channel. SMTP error 510 looks simple on the surface. The server is telling you that the address you're trying to reach doesn't exist. It sounds like a one-off problem, something to fix and move on from. But that's not how it behaves at scale. Because once invalid addresses start slipping into your sending flow, they don't just fail individually. They start shaping how providers see you. A few bounces might not matter, but consistent sending to non-existent recipients quickly turns into a pattern. And patterns are exactly what mailbox providers pay attention to. What looked like a minor inconvenience begins to affect your overall reputation. And from that point on, even valid emails can struggle to reach the inbox. And before we start digging through lists, trying to find the one bad contact, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell. It helps more people catch these issues before they scale. Done it? Alright. So the real question becomes, how does a clean list slowly turn into a problem without you even noticing? Email lists don't usually fail all at once. They degrade. Some of it comes from simple mistakes. A typo in a domain, a missing character, something small that immediately makes an address invalid. But most of it happens over time. People change jobs, companies, rebrand, domains disappear, inboxes get abandoned. What used to be a valid contact just stops existing. And unless you're actively checking, it stays in your systems as if nothing changed. There's also a quieter layer that builds underneath. Data ages. Lists that were accurate months ago slowly lose quality, and that decay doesn't show up clearly until bounce rates start rising. And then there's behavior. Repeatedly sending to bad addresses, relying on scraped or outdated data, or ignoring engagement signals creates a profile that providers don't trust. None of these things feel dramatic on their own, but together, they create exactly the kind of pattern that leads to errors like SMTP 510 becoming frequent instead of occasional. Which is why fixing it once doesn't really solve the problem. What matters is changing how your list is maintained over time. Avoiding SMTP 510 is less about reacting to errors and more about controlling what enters your system in the first place. The real average is catching those issues before they even reach your campaigns. That's where validation becomes part of the process. When emails are checked at the moment they are collected, bad data never gets the chance to circulate. Warmy's email validation tool sits exactly at that entry point, filtering out invalid or risky addresses before they even become part of your sending flow. From there, consistency matters more than intensity. Lists need to be revisited, cleaned, and evaluated over time. Engagement starts to tell you who is inactive and who is quietly damaging your performance. List quality is not a static asset, it's a moving system that directly influences how providers evaluate your behavior. And that's why Warmy doesn't stop at validation. Monitoring domain health, tracking bounce patterns, and maintaining sender reputation all work together to keep your environment stable. So instead of reacting every time an error appears, you're operating inside a system where those errors become less frequent, less impactful, and easier to understand. SMTP 510 is rarely about one bad address. It's about what your data looks like over time. The difference between stable performance and constant issues usually comes down to whether that data is being managed or just used. That's why we left the Warmy link in the description. That way you can evaluate the most efficient and complete tool there is for that purpose. And all we ask in return for this amazing offer is to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell. This way, the algorithm stops recommending just scale volume to lists that are already falling apart. Thank you for watching so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.